Hi everybody, welcome back to Cody's Tractor Ranch. Before we get into today's video, I'd like for you to take a few seconds to click the subscribe button and bell notification down below. Alright, I've got a quick question for all of you guys out there. See, I've been running into an issue when I'm loading my 1025R John Deere with the 260B backhoe on my trailer, and I found there's not really any good tie down points on the 260B backhoe, and so I've been having to run up underneath it to the tractor's hitch to tie a chain down to keep it tied down for 4 points of contact on the trailer, and it's a bit of a hassle getting underneath there to chain it, get the clamp bell on with the chain, and then take it on and off whenever I go to load or unload. So I got to looking online, but I couldn't find any brackets for it. Like, I couldn't find a bracket that was made for the 260B. And so I was wanting to know how many of you out there are having that issue as well, and what ways you've come up with to solve that issue of tying it down on the trailer. And if you would, comment that down below, because I'd love to hear you guys' opinions and thoughts on the matter. So in today's video, after looking around on the internet, I couldn't find a bracket for it, so I decided to make my own. And so we'll go ahead and go to the workbench over here, and I'll show you what I've done. See, yesterday I went ahead and made the first bracket. As you can see, I made my first tie down bracket for the 260B backhoe for one side, and this is the other piece of metal that we're going to be using, and these are a 1/4 inch thick piece of flat steel by 3 inches wide, and I bought a piece of it 2 foot long, and as you can see, I've cut it into two 1 foot lengths, and then on the first bracket I cut a bit of it off to angle it so it wouldn't allow the clamp bell, or the horseshoe clamp as some may call it, or U-clamp, to fit down here and have a little room to swing for the chain to go through easier. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to basically just copy this over to this piece and then drill and cut the piece the same way. But basically, I'll go over to the backhoe here and show you. I have went and bought the bolts that I needed to replace the one that would be right here, and then to replace this pin down here. So, sorry, using the wrong finger. My apologies. But anyway, we're replacing the bolt here with a little longer, and we're replacing this one with a longer bolt as well instead of the pin itself, putting this one back. So that way it goes through the other side and gives me a little room to put some washers and a lock nut. But basically, this would fit like, would go right here on this side, and it would give me the tie down point I need for on the trailer. So basically we're just going to flip this one around and do it the same way on the left side over here. Now I went ahead and removed the pin on the left side, and I went and bought these bolts. Allow me to put this down for a sec. And if you hear something in the background, it's just my my heating unit. But this is right here, this one is the thicker one for the bottom, which is a 1 1/8 bolt head, and it is from here, from top to back, is 6.5 inches long by about less than 1.25 inches wide. and I bought 2 of these to replace the 2 bottom pins. Then we have, for the right side, this one, which is 5 inches and 5 3/4 inch long. And then for the left side, the little longer one here is just a 6 1/4 inch. 6 1/4, I mean 6 1/4 inch, sorry, long, to replace the other side where the step is, with that stopping thick bushing, like, to hold the step, keep it from going back any further. And as you can see here, I went today and bought some extra drill bits so I would have a few extra sharp ones. So basically, yeah, we're gonna make these, and then once we get it made, we'll get it cleaned up real quick with a wire wheel and get it set up to where it'll be set for the backhoe, and then go ahead and get them painted. Try to get them painted today if possible. But yeah, so this is basically what we're doing. And like I said, I've looked online and couldn't find any, so I decided to make my own. So yeah, this will be the right side. So what we'll do is we'll take our permanent marker and we'll go ahead and mark our hole for where we need the top. And then we'll go ahead and mark our middle hole, because I went ahead and put it up against the backhoe earlier before I did the video just to check. But yeah, and we have our punch pin, or yeah, the punch, 3/8 punch, to make our hole, or set hole for the drill bit to rest on. Then we'll go ahead and do our other hole down here. So basically we got 3 holes to drill. One for the clamp bell, one for the 1 1/8 bolt, and these bolts are actually, I forgot to mention, are a 3/4 wrench, 3/4 wrench bolt, while this is a 1 1/8 wrench bolt. And the nut that goes on it, I've got a lock nut that's a 1 1/16 size that fits this bolt here. And unfortunately, my local Rural King didn't have any extra lock nuts for these two, so I wound up getting some regulars, getting a regular set of lock nut, or not lock nuts, but regular nuts. And I had to go back and get a 3/4 or 1 1/8 wrench. Sorry, I'm getting myself mixed up. That I didn't have. I had the socket, but not the wrench, so that way I could hold the back side of this while I tighten it with the ratchet. And so yeah, we'll just go ahead and mark the angle here for cutting, so that way we can, because I will be using my reciprocating saw to do the cutting. I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, why wouldn't I just use like a cutting disc with a grinder? Well, unfortunately, I am not sure what I did with them. I think I left them left them out in my shed, I think, or I might have put them in my toolbox and forgot which toolbox they're in. I don't know. So we're just going to use reciprocating saw, which will do the same job, does the same thing for me and gets it done. But yeah, so let's get over to the drill press and we will go ahead and make our next bracket. So, and I went and bought went out and got a 3/4 inch drill bit to drill the bigger hole out with. So we'll be using a 1/2 inch for the smaller hole, drill bit wise. And then I believe the other one would probably be a 1/2 here as well. But I also have a step bit for widening the hole a little bit more if need be. So, enough chit chat, let's get into the drilling. We'll go ahead and get into this and get this drilled out. And then we'll go right over here. And as always, you want to make sure you keep oil in hand, keep the drill bit lubricated so that it won't get too hot. And as you can see, we'll go ahead and get clamped in. As you see, we got a lot of leftover residue from drilling yesterday. So, and yes, I know I should probably use some gloves for this. So, let me get it real quick. Because the metal shape is probably safer that way to handle. So, let's go ahead and get our drill bit right here. I'll zoom in a little bit. Back up just a little. And see, we got our little sensor, but we'll do this. Oh, right. I almost forgot. I do the one thing I talked about. Tap and punch in. Now let's do this. I realize what I've got. Okay, go well. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. So, as you probably saw earlier, apparently this one didn't want to do its job. It's a Master Force brand drill bit, Cobalt. So, I was kind of hoping that would have done it right there, but apparently it does not want to do that. So, I had to resort to my DeWalt battery drill along with the 3/4 inch size step bit all the way to the top to get my bolt hole done for that one. So now we're just going to do the last one here and then cut and everything. So, first, let's see. If you got any motor oil that you don't use, it does make for a good, like if it's good clean motor oil, but you don't need it for what you're using it in, makes for a good lubricant oil for the drill. And as I've found out, I am low. So I'm going to top this off real fast. There we go. Just a little bit. Okay. There we go. There we go. All right. So as you can see, it looks like we get to the bottom. Okay, yeah, found more shades than I expected. So, we'll just figure things out. And yeah, if you're doing this kind of work, guys, I know you probably know this, but always make sure you have your shirt, you don't care about your dirty underwear when you're working on the shop. Otherwise, it gets messy. So, alright, I'm just checking this out. Always keep a shot angle around for cleaning up later as well. Yeah. So now we go red hole. Okay, now go back to otherwise and widen. Roll a little bit to about 5 each way. Alright, do it on one side and flip it to the other side. Then I'll take a, after we cut everything, I'll get a bit of electrical spring cleaner. Yeah, electrical spring cleaner. I found on YouTube, I have to admit, it's very good for cleaning up oil, like excess oil and stuff, like hydraulic fluid and everything. Okay, now we're done with that. So, real quick, I'm gonna run my shop hang real quick. Try to clean some of this stuff down. Don't want to drag off your house too much. Okay. Now we'll get to cutting this. Cut it down and cut angles. So, we'll grab the chop now. Follow fast. Okay. So now we'll go ahead and put that in the bench vise. And then her, well, chicken salt, put in. Yes, it does shape the bench pretty good. I apologize. Yes, this note does get pretty good normal cut. So, now we need to extend our piece out away from the base lamp so that we can cut our angles. And then we'll go to the bench grinder and grind some of the grind some of the edges off. So you try to mark your lines pretty good over here so that you can. Sorry, that's a little ways away from where you can see, but yeah, those one issue mark your lines. If you use a permanent marker, it really talks so you can see as we swipe below. Here, I'm going to move this camera from this cord. So we'll start with this side first. That's the counter. And a little suggestion that I just now realized, I'm going to need some pliers real quick. I know that needs to be hot. Yeah. That's why I say the pliers, because this is smoking a little. It is hot. Now we can kind of angle this way easier. Okay, yeah, as you can see, that heater blade is really hot. So we'll unplug it and let it rest over here out of the way for now. So yeah, now as you can see, that's where we get pliers again one more time. I decided to put back just a little behind my line, but not by much. I think I pretty well got within the line good. That's 20 millimeter hole for the E-clamp, the E-clamp, yeah, I call it that, or whatnot. And now we're ready to grind off the edging, so it'll be a little smoother, not get us. Okay. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll turn the hammer around to the bench here. And so now we'll go ahead and do this and take some of the angles edging off. Now that's done, go ahead and secure some. And you can see, pin goes right through the hole good after pushing out some bits of stuff that's in there. But yeah, this ain't good like a glove. It's as snug as a glove. And so, and as I said before, we're going to use some QD electronic cleaner. And like I said, I found on YouTube, everybody was talking about this, so I gave it a try myself, and it really cleans up the grease good. That's, I don't know how to dry it off, because I did that on the backhoe as well, and as you can see, it made we're taking a lot of the grease off here. That's where there's still a bit of grease here that shines, and we'll do it to the back as well. But it makes a heck of a good way to clean this off. I mean, it's evaporating grease like already frozen white. Yeah, it smells, but hey, better have a little smell than not doing exactly what I want, I guess. So now we'll repeat that side. And it's already evaporating grease now, again. As you can see, there's hardly any grease left on that. Oh, sorry, hardly any grease left on here, as you can see, unlike my hand. But it's taking grease off of both sides real good. And a lot faster than just let it dry right. So now we'll go over to the tractor on the backhoe and see about putting this on. I think first I'm going to go ahead and paint my gloves out real quick. Once they're all oiled up. I mean, that looks like it did before we even drilled dryness wise. Yeah, I'm not getting hardly any residue from the grease or the oil in. So, and as you can see, I'm using my shop crane, my 1-ton, to hold up my stabilizer, or the outrigger as I call it, to help with to help with holding it up so that it takes the weight off. If I forget, we need to take these back. And but yeah, I also got these other nuts and bolts and extra washers to help take out the slack for the excess space that we have. Go right around my shop crane. Ouch. Okay. I'm gonna adjust the camera so that you can see what we're doing. And I'll put my light on it so we can see. There we go. Had to get it to find the way I had it. And then we just run this through to the other side. Pull this over. And you might have to lift up on your outrigger a little. There we go. And as you can see, it's a good snug little fit. And there you go. We got our clamp bell on. We got enough room for the chain good, and it maybe comes out about 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches behind, maybe 2. But other than that, and I think we should be able to get our backhoe dolly from BX Expanded put on here. And no, this video is not sponsored by anyone, in case you all are wondering. That's just the backhoe dolly that was made for this one, and there was also one made for the Kubota as well. And it's real handy for in the shop, for if you're needing to take your backhoe off and then put your 3-point back on, which doesn't take long, and pin on your tractor, I guess. But yeah, so this is pretty much how it will look on the other side next. So we'll go ahead and take this back off, and I'll put the original pin in here for now to hold the outrigger, the stabilizer arm, up, so that we can use our shop crane as a way to suspend the metal to get it ready for paint. Be able to spray paint it John Deere green to match the tractor and all. And then we will let it dry overnight and see how it is the next day. Yeah, I guess I might have to pump the... There we go. I guess the shop crane, my cherry pick shop crane decided to let down. Oh, come on, let me give it back to me. Oh, that's why I had it a little bit against there. My bad. Okay. But yeah, and here's that bushing that I was talking about that goes on the other side of this hole for your footstep. that I'm going to put back on there again with the new bolt. And here's the original pin that was in both, that's on the other side as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do now. I'll get this cleaned up for painting, and there we go. So, okay guys, as you can see, we've got our brackets spray painted, and we will check them again tomorrow. Make sure they dried good. It is a very cold night tonight, and the single digits are a little below. So I've got my little catch area here. Just a piece of old walling strip to catch any drip off of those in case I oversprayed, which I tried to make sure I don't, but just to be safe I did that. And that little bit of green is just from where I had to check my spray can again. So anyway, I will see you all tomorrow perhaps. Well, not perhaps, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Okay, and we're back. So it got a lot colder out at night here recent, so the paint wasn't drying here in the shop, so I wound up taking them inside the house to dry out better. And as you can see, we're completely dried out and getting them put on today. So it took a few days, several days to dry out, really, considering that the paint was cold. So, but now we're all set to go and getting things put back on. And we got our lock washers with us as well, so since I couldn't get any lock nuts, like I said before, we're going to put lock washers on instead. And so grab our nut and one of our lock washers. Oop. Get this put on. And one thing I did notice is the bolts pushing a little closer to the hydraulic hoses on the other side, which I'll show you in just a minute once I get the nut started on here. And okay, so we'll bring you around, and as you can see right here are, there you go, do it this way. Bolts actually, since it's longer, then it sticks out a little closer to the hydraulic hoses, but I think they'll be just fine since they got their own cover on there to help protect them. And they're not the main hydraulic, or not main, but yeah, they are the main hydraulic hoses to the tractor. But what I mean is, what I was trying to say was that since these ones don't move around a whole lot, I don't think it's going to hurt having that longer bolt there. So we'll go ahead and get it tightened down. There we go. And I will switch to our 1 1/8 wrench and 1 1/16 socket to get the other one tightened up. And so I found that the block nut is a 1 1/16 size socket, while a bolt is a 1 1/8 cell. We grab our washers, put these on down here. I'm going to move the camera around here for a bit, so I can get here. Up here. All right. Okay, so this side's good on there. You can actually let our cut hang down and put the weight back down on it. Okay, maybe you go to the T-side. Okay, there we go. Apparently I got too snug on there and it was tightened up and they're good. But now we're good. Okay, now we'll go and get the other side taken care of. So, hang on a sec. Set the camera here. Set it over here. Here. Bring the camera right up to here. I'll squeeze it here. Put it here for a second. Okay. And pop the pin out. And there's the other one out. Go ahead and put this one through. And we'll get our spacer in here as well, where it's supposed to be. Okay. A few of these. 3 washers. Looks like that'll be just fine. And we'll go ahead and grab our other bolt, put it down. And we gotta lift up a little on the stabilizer arm, or outriggers as I call it. Grab our washers, put it down here. Let's slide the nut on this in real quick too. Lug nut, and then go ahead and throw the other one on from the top one first. Okay, now we'll get the top one tightened. As you can see, we got no big layer, so. Just around. Okay, that's good. We'll go ahead and swap these around. Just like on the other side, we won't make it real tight, but we'll get snug. We'll still allow that freaking wiggle a little bit in between. Okay, I'd say that's good. All right, everybody. Now, as you can see, we got our U-clamp, horseshoe clamp, and our clamp bell, as they call them. And now we have our way to chain down on the rear and get us 4 points of contact between the rear here, on the rear of the backhoe, and on the front end where my other tie down brackets are. So that's it for this video, guys. If you like, hit the thumbs up. Please leave a comment below. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to click that bell notification and anyway. But like I said, this might help some of you guys out there as well if you're having the same issue I was. So, as always, have a good day, and may God bless you all.